Cool. Yeah, let me know when we're live, Itchy.
Stream should be starting up. Social posts are going out as I make sure stream is stable.
Cool. Simon and the gang.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we appear to be stable. Welcome to BluePopStream for those who are watching. As always, got to start things proper.
Don't look at the heretical red pop that I'm drinking.
I mean, we have Red Pop Stream on our channel as well. That's my buddy Raven.
Yeah, but tonight is Blue Pop night, so
Blue Pop is gracious and accepts all other pops.
fair. All right, yes, welcome everyone. Welcome back to Scourge of the Dragon Sea. Who wants to talk about what happened last session? If anyone remembers.
I have my inspiration, so I think someone else can take it.
We fought. We got back to our ship, decided to take a rest, and during which Simon noticed a swarm of what at the time we did not know were shadows on the horizon, and didn't wake up the rest of the crew.
It didn't seem like an immediate threat to everyone until it was.
Until it was.
And so we lost a member of our crew due to that. Barry's mom woke up briefly to scream a prophecy at us that so far I think only Barry in character actually knows. And I got a fun mask after we killed a bunch of shadows.
A fun mask.
I did not say to resend. Oh, she scrolled up and found it. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, good morning, crew of the Azure Tide.
Yeah.
Ithvik, the first thing you notice when you wake up is you are hearing like wispy, sort of shadowy noises in your head.
Rip.
Don't specifically say anything, but
I was gonna say the whispers say the game is paused.
Look, I can do things so I don't immediately notice.
What fucking game are you talking about?
The game of your life.
Actually, yeah, the voice says, hunger, vengeance. So, yeah, good morning.
I guess.
No, it's still par for the course side. Everything's fine.
We're cool. The huge.
Awesome.
You know, just a normal souls for breakfast.
Yeah.
Souls for breakfast.
Head up on deck and see what's going on.
Simon succeeded on his wisdom saving throw against the orb.
Yeah.
It was like a DC 16 or 17, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, but yeah, he succeeded. So no extra effects happen. Your wings are back to looking feathered.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, what does everyone want to do with their morning? It's probably about a day or so before you'll make landfall in Hoshikiri.
I guess my big question is, does my mom wake up?
She does not.
Okay. God damn it.
I think Simon's gonna be up in the crow's nest keeping an eye out for more shadows. Or anything else potentially dangerous.
Give me a an Arcana or Religion check.
Okay. I'm much better at Arcana. Not terrible.
Okay. You know from your what studies you have done into magical stuff, shadows are generally a creature of darkness. They don't like light.
Safe assumption, but you never know.
Fair enough. It's always good to be vigilant. Anyway,
I think I'm going to spend the day attempting to teach a few members of the crew how to properly use a blade.
Sure. Give me. I need to check a source book. Let's see. Also, Ichi, you're currently 13.7. Wait, let me check that. That's a rabbit hole. I won't do that. I'm
What?
just gonna see how high is the. How high did we say the crow's nest was last session?
I think it took me like 2 turns to fly up there.
Right.
A turn and a half of his movement, I think, is what you said.
Yeah, which would be 45, 50 feet roughly. What's your fly speed?
Fly speed.
Default fly speed usually 30 feet.
I think so. Let me just double check. Flight.
We'll often say same as movement if you don't have
Yeah,
less
equal
than
to your
half your
walking
movement.
speed. So yeah, fly 30.
What was the thing I needed to check in the source book? Motherfucker.
I don't know.
I offered to train people how to use a blade.
Right, that's it.
Oh.
Gaining new. It might be in the Dungeon Master's Guide, but I'll check this first. Thank you. Yes.
Do I get inspiration for the thing a bit ago too?
Yes, you do. That was a great summary of last
Before we
Was checking
started,
to make sure before I click the button.
downtime activity.
Before we started, I discovered that right-clicking my character opens up all these helpful little buttons, including the elevation indication. So let's make use of that. Hooray!
Yeah. It's crafting, which is not what I want. Learning new skills, because I know there's like established rule training. It's right here. Okay, this is for you to acquire proficiency in the language or skill or tool.
To become proficient in stabbing.
Yeah. Training is 150 days. It's like
Jesus.
8 hours a day. Costs like gold per day if you're hiring someone to train you. If you're training the crew, like, to be fair, being proficient is like you are skilled with that thing. It's not just like you were handed a sword and told to go.
Mm.
So, yeah, the crew does have some experience with weapons, but it is not what they were hired for. They're, better with knots and ropes and the day-to-day management of the ship.
Yeah, I'm specifically trying to do this so they have something to protect themselves rather than just relying on us.
What if we tied a knife to the end of a rope?
That is the most hilariously unpredictable weapon in the world, and I invite you to try it. Find out what happens, buddy. Let's give each sailor a 30-foot zone of control with a blade on the end of it. Nothing bad can happen there.
I believe that qualifies as a flail.
Of a sort. It's really more a bladed whip.
Yeah.
And a particularly long one at that. Anyway, yeah, cool. Yes. Okay, you do notice that your mother is still unconscious, and the punctures in her neck, which we noted before, seem to have like something dark at the end of it. The veins coming from there, like the darkness seems to have like expanded just a little bit. Not much, but like yeah, just a very little bit.
That's not good.
Would there potentially be anything relevant to this in the arcane books that we studied before we hopped in the portal to the Shadowfell?
You mean the Shadow Spellbook?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you speak Abyssal?
No.
you had been able to suss out what the symbols meant by like cross-referencing with the mirror and
Yeah.
ritual pit and stuff, but especially without that bit of reference, you're not sure what else is said here.
Okay.
Oh, does he still have that book? I thought that was given back to me.
Whoever has it, that's probably fair.
I don't mind whoever, if I have it or not. I was just thinking if that would be an avenue to figuring something else out.
Yeah. I know you're not on voice right now, Edema, but what are you up to this morning? Go ahead and type out that response.
Having a hangover, it sounds like.
And Kai as well. What's going on? Oh, actually, you guys, Aerodrim remembers you guys had asked him to like try and check in with the dragon turtle as he sailed out of the harbor of Tisbaga.
Mm-hmm.
He at this point remembers and was like, oh, we saw your turtle friend. He's probably telling this to who would be on deck right now, actually.
I'm in the middle of training the other people, so I'm kind of
Okay.
I'm
Probably
up
a
my crow's
Demo
nest.
because Kai's gonna be checking on Barry's mom.
Yeah. It's Dama. Aerodrim comes up to you. Says, so we were told to check in on your dragon, your really big like turtle dragon thing friend. He gave us this, and he hands you a cane. Looks like a cane or a rod or something.
New walking stick.
I have so many questions.
Is it?
Did he like vomit it out?
You can inspect the cane. It looks like. Remember previously I said that the turtle seemed to have like something stuck into his head that had like a gem on it?
Exactly.
Just real quick, Adema, the Discord that you're typing into is not viewable on stream, so anything you want to say in character, maybe type it in the game instead, just to help me out.
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
Yes, inspecting the cane. God damn, now I need the DM's guide, motherfucker.
To the books!
To the books. Is it magical? Does he have fingers? Did he flick it like a SeaWorld? So, it looks like... Where is it? Here. Is there... It looks like there's... Almost looks like a crown around the gem at the top. The gem itself just looks like a large, like a particularly... Don't use the word clear, but a particularly like fine mass of... Yeah, particularly fine mass of quartz set into the top of this rod in a setting that looks like a ruler's crown.
Neat.
Yep. There is nothing further that you can particularly tell from looking at it. It does seem to be very, very well made as well. The opposite end is sharpened as, not to be used as a weapon as a point, but like you'd be able to plant it in the ground, or perhaps particularly large amounts of flesh, as it might once have been. Yeah.
Interesting.
If you want to cast the spell Detect Magic, I could tell you whether or not it is magical. and I feel like I ask this every session. Does anyone have the identify spell?
I don't have that
I
one
don't.
specifically. I do have detect magic.
Yeah.
I don't have access to that spell.
Oh my god, I do. No, I don't.
I was like, what?
Like, what? Yeah, cool, neat. They might get up to further hijack.
From one turtle to another.
Le Jinx.
Good call. All right. Yeah. So
And that's fair. Kai
He
is the
just
one who made the
barrels
agreement with
down
them.
the
yeah,
across the deck.
Kai, Dama comes around and presumably hands you this rod.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any way that I can further identify this thing myself?
Do you have detect magic prepared?
I don't believe so, no. I do not.
This is just gonna be like get the gang together just to find out about this goddamn rod, which is so incredibly D&D.
Find the one circumstance that weaves right between all of our kids.
Yep.
But whilst
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have it prepared, I am also going to try and cast the Lesser Restoration on Barry's mom again.
Sure. Give me a wisdom skill check. You're a wisdom caster. Give me a wisdom like essentially just a wisdom check.
I mean, you were saying to identify earlier, but if it is a detect magic that you need, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can tell you what
Detect
school
magic would
magic
say,
it is, at least.
Is it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you are not able to release the magic. It does seem to be like slowing the progress of whatever is affecting her.
Yeah.
But
It's good at least.
yeah, it's not stopping entirely. It's not curing her either.
Fair enough.
Cool. Yeah. When
No
we
way
eventually
to
get detect magic cast, it gives an aura of enchantment magic. Not enchanted in the sense that it's enchanted, but like whatever effect it has would be similar to a spell that would fall under the enchantment school of magic.
Mm-hmm.
And that would spells like anything that would affect another target's mind falls under enchantment. Things like dominate or suggestion or command, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some really fun spells in that category.
There's some real fun spells in that category. Enchanter wizards sound really boring, but they can be real fun.
I can make a guess at this, considering it came from a turtle who was previously enslaved.
Also, I will say this is a vanilla magic item. It's just like in the Dungeon Master's guide. So once it's attuned to, it can just be imported onto you.
It didn't do anything.
Water.
Sorry.
Oh shit. Yeah, I mean, I'll try anything.
Yeah, this is morning now, Edema. Oh, you need another day to prepare ceremony. Got it. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Sweet. Anyway, anything, so, Ithvik is training, like, are you training as in, like, you demonstrate and then they kind of, like, pair up and practice against each other?
Yeah, and I'd be up here with, like, maybe 3 at the most.
Yeah. A couple guys that you've, like, nominated as you will be the guards.
Yes.
Cool. I am going to...
Small pity raise in it for you if you do well.
Yeah.
Time to power level the crew.
Oh, is that it? That's not a corpseman.
He'll be a corpseman if he doesn't train well.
Valid.
I
And
will
you
be
consigned
attempting to
this
not
corpse to
use-
the briny deep, yes?
Yeah, we sent it.
Cool.
What was that you said a second ago?
Consigned them to the briny deep.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say I will be actively attempting to not instantly kill one of our crewmates while we're doing this, just in case it needs to be said.
Any hits that you make are non-lethal. You can find what you need for like sword stand-ins, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all blunted weapons. They're not like actually grievously wounding each other.
It's like wooden training swords and shit.
Yeah. It's not like specifically a training sword, but like, you get a length of wood that suffices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. What do I want to call these? I will come up with something and add it here. Currently, they are called Give These a Name They Can Fight. Yeah.
Since our ship is the Azure Tide, we could call them the Tidesmen.
Honestly, I am
bad.
okay if you guys come up with a name for the sailors you have who can fight.
Yeah.
Cool. Give me a...
Anyone else have any other ideas, or?
Ithvuk.
All right.
Yeah.
You are both a ranger and a rogue.
Yes.
Do you want them to take one of those levels, or would you like them to get a level in fighter?
I try to get them a level in ranger.
Cool. Ranger. Got it. Yeah. So give me a... whichever physical... Like, dexterity or strength, whichever you're best with, give me a skill check with proficiency.
I mean,
For how
that's,
well you
that's easy to
demonstrate.
tell I'm a rogue.
Oh, I figured, but that's how I want to do, like, combat training.
Ooh.
Okay. So I am going to give these three fellows.
I believe they will be, in fact, fast as fuck, boy.
Yeah. They are going to actually...
I had to take a moment to remember what weapon speed actually gotten from the last combat on the ship before I could make a choice of what they would be.
Yeah. For what it's worth, the sailors themselves have, at least in the hold, you'd know this as the quartermaster. There are like scimitars, or like slashing weapons. Like they're not your cutlass, but they're like a little shorter. And then there's a number of light crossbows as well.
It's the cutlass.
Yeah. Okay, and I'll make one more of those. And you're just doing this like essentially for most of the day?
Yeah, pretty much. It's going to take a bit to get them up to snuff.
Yeah.
So
Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah. You do some solid training. They seem a little bit more proficient with the weapons by the end of the day. Anyone else doing anything aside from like generic duties on board the ship?
Simon's just gonna keep an eye out.
Cool. Probably around midday, Simon in the crow's nest. You would obviously see it first. You see on the western horizon a large. It looks like just a large rock rising out of the sea.
When you say rising, do I see it moving up, or is it just there?
It is there. Like it's looks like a very tall island, almost like a pillar of stone, as best you can see from where you are.
Would this seem like where we are headed, or is this just something in the way?
It is in that direction, but the place you're headed, you know, is like on a continent.
Yeah. I guess I call out to everyone below who's around and within earshot and let them know that we're approaching some sort of rock structure of some sort. So we may want to start veering in one direction or the other.
This is like well out on the horizon.
Yeah.
It does seem taller than it is wide, and as you get closer, give me a perception check, actually.
Okie dokie.
I was gonna say, can I make one of those if you?
Sure. It takes a little longer before it comes into range of you, just with the height of the crow's nest. But you can also make a perception check, Ithvik.
Wow.
Yeah, Simon, you make this out. It does seem to be that there are creatures. Especially as you get closer, you see that this mass of stone is pockmarked with what look like caves all the way up its height, and there are some kind of creature flying in and out of these caves, flying around it. They look like, let's see if I can actually find a picture. I feel like if it's just the picture of the Malcolm manual, at least one of you will just know what this is for free. Yeah, sure. Yeah. It's just the art. I'm going to put this in Discord here for everyone to see.
I will look at that later.
Yeah. You see, it's a large, scaly creature with, wings of like flesh stretched across bones, the way like a flying reptile might have wings. And eventually, as you're approaching this and keeping an eye on it, Simon, you also see that there is a spike on the tail as well.
Okay.
And also about that time, you can see that some of them have people sitting in a saddle on their back.
Cool.
Okay, that's cool.
If you would like, you can make a nature check to specifically identify what kind of creature this is.
Yes, please.
And like at this point, everyone can probably see the massive stone, at least. Sure. These seem to match the description of a wyvern.
I knew it. Wyvern riders.
You've heard of wyverns before. You know that they are a type of like lesser dragonkin. And actually, you have heard of wyvern riders of Okara before. They almost have like a legendary status, at least among people on the on the eastern coast of the Dragon Sea.
I just want to point out that the Fire Emblem fan in me is squeeing right now.
That might be where I got the idea, but it's not like I've had this in the game for so long that I don't remember the specific inspiration.
No problem.
Or if there was a specific inspiration. Anyway, yeah.
Just be riding dragons is cool.
So yeah.
Also that, yeah.
I call out to those around me that there are wyvern riders.
Yeah, you do see that there are some docks around the base of the tower. This like tower of stone, but I shouldn't say but. There's a couple docks at the base of the tower. You see one sort of like small transport ship docked there. Yeah, it's probably mid-afternoon at this point.
So we have a tower full of potentially scary and dangerous wyvern riders. There's a boat docked at the base of that tower, which means there could be someone in danger. So I guess I want to get down from the nest and gather everyone up and report findings.
Cool. Yeah, again, at this point, everyone can see the tower of stone on the horizon at the very least.
In background, would me and Adema be able to make rolls for that one?
Yeah, go ahead and roll. Yeah.
History or...
Roll history.
It would be
Yeah.
history or insight would make it.
History is the way to go. Well, are you trying to discern what their attitude to outsiders might be, or are you trying to find out just information about wyvern?
I want to know if we'll more be safe.
Okay, yeah.
Personally.
Insight can work for that. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. You know that the wyvern riders are a sort of a division of the Okaran military. This may not stand for all wild wyverns, or for all wyverns, but at least the establishment has been around long enough that if there are mounted wyverns, probably all of those wyverns are at least reasonably okay with humanoids. They're not necessarily hostile.
You said that these are Okaran military. Is Okara the continent to which we're sailing?
Yes, Okara is Hoshikiri, the city you're sailing to, is the capital of Okara, which is a very old kingdom.
Okay, so this is a military outpost of the city we're heading towards.
Yes.
So maybe not as dangerous as assumed, if we can prove to them we're not a threat. Or at least that we mean them no harm.
Could be. Let me make a quick roll here. Sure. You do see at this point a pair of mounted wyverns veer in your direction.
I was gonna say, is this like a border crossing?
That's what it feels like.
To check our papers.
With that inside, yeah, 9. Dama, you aren't from around here, so you may have heard of wyvern riders, kind of in passing, but you don't know. You haven't picked up much from the social zeitgeist of the Dragon Sea, if that makes sense.
The Dragon Sea.
I'll call a stop to the training session with these guys while the wyvern riders are heading towards us, so they don't assume the ship is being boarded or something.
Super valid. There isn't really space, open space on your ship for a wyvern to land.
Oh, are they that big?
Wyverns are, at the very least, sized large.
They're pretty big.
Jesus.
Yeah. Let's find the wiki page. Forgotten Realms wiki. Let's see length, etc.
On a slightly relevant note, I also want to point out that my friends have gotten me watching House of the Dragon over the last couple weeks.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So, the average wingspan of a wyvern is about 20 feet. As far as combat is concerned, they need 10 by 10 space for fighting. They are size category large. But they kind of bunch up until they're actually attacking. Their average length is between 15 and 35 feet, depending on age. They big. They could probably land and
I was gonna say, it sounds like maybe they could probably land one or two.
If they need to, but remember there's also ropes and stuff coming down from...
Yeah.
It would probably cause damage to some of your rigging.
Valid.
However, does anyone obviously look like a captain?
other than my armor being trimmed in silver, but that'd be about it.
Hmm.
Simon's not sure he's ready to step up and take leadership again.
Fair.
Simon has been making some erroneous judgments lately.
You've been in some pretty difficult situations. I'm sure people understand. He might not for himself, but you know. So he needs this. And this. Cool. You, because no one obviously looks
Adema said Aerodrome.
Aerodrome, yeah, probably looks the most. You see him like touch an ear, and then he looks at, you know, the party kind of as they're gathered. He's around here probably. He just like the riders there contacting me saying, you know, we're entering Okaran waters. They want to know our business. What should I respond with?
I mean, basically just give him minimal details, let him know that we were told that a prince from a kingdom across the water was kidnapped and taken here, and we're on a search and rescue mission.
Right. He does the same. You see him like point up at the wyvern rider, like point in that direction, and he, as far as you can tell, he relays that information back. Yeah, cool. Aerodrome turns back to you and says, another few hours in that direction and we should be able to make heading. However, waters can be a little shaky towards the port in the evening. They recommend we wait till morning to make final approach.
These are their waters and we will trust their guidance.
All right, cool. Yeah. They kind of follow you in the air a little bit, especially as you pass the pillar of stone itself, and then return to. And at this point, you can see the large dark mass of the continent on the coast now. Yeah, sweet.
Nice.
I'll be honest, I've started the map for this town. I have not finished it.
Valid.
Yeah. It is... Yeah, so, as you approach, you see that the town, or like the city itself, is on both the north and south shore of a large bay with a river running out, like the landward end of it. You notice that the north bank of the bay seems to be far more densely populated. And you see far more diversity in the ships anchored there. A few... you see it like a small... I want to say tugboat, but that doesn't feel quite setting appropriate. Has actually a small, like, magic propulsion system of some kind. Like, you don't see sails on it, but it's moving quite quickly towards you. And they point you northward, but also say, like, wait till morning.
Yeah. So we're gonna park the ship here at the tower.
Yeah. Oh, yes. That works.
Was that the suggestion?
That is something you can do. You can get a little closer, like you'd be able to make safe harbor. It's like the bay itself, like the immediate waters around the city, are kind of shallow, and like high tide is when you want to make your approach.
I mean, if we're going to be camping the ship before actually going into the city beforehand, I think just to make ourselves a little more trustworthy, we could just park ourselves next to the encampment. That way, if there's any trouble, we can help each other out.
Sure. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Everyone else agree?
Yep.
Cool.
And if we are waiting till the next morning, Adema can have his blessing ready to go.
Yeah. are you pulling up to the actual docks of the tower in the encampment, or are you?
If they're okay with us doing that,
Sure.
in case we need to get off our ship for whatever reason.
All right, sounds good. A man in armor. Like there's a couple guards at the dock that don't seem like super. They don't seem hostile, but like as you approach, and especially as you like, sail right up, they request that you remain on your ship.
No problem.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anything else anyone wants to do with this day? Anything we didn't talk about?
Oh, I think that's about it.
I don't know if maybe
Sure.
Kay wants to ask if, I don't know if this outpost has any sort of supplies or information or like a light or anything that could potentially help with the diagnosing and treatment of her mother. I know it's a military outpost, so I don't expect a lot, but you never know what they might have.
Yeah. I guess I can ask if they have any healers or holy people.
We've got a couple we have a couple people who can do some healing. Is someone wounded?
Yes, but not in a way that can be cured by just normal healing.
I guess
magic.
someone who was bit on the neck by some psychopath. There's some darkness spreading from it. Our holy people up here can't fix it.
I was trying to be like tactful about it, but yeah. The vampire was involved.
They give you a weird look.
Yeah.
And you see one of the two guys makes like a gesture with the hand that seems to be like warding off evil a little bit.
Valid.
We have battlefield medics more than anything here. So if there's physical injuries, we can help with that. I don't know if we can with that.
Do you know, in Hoshikiri, is there like maybe a temple that you would recommend, or somewhere where someone who's able to take care of a little bit more substantial problems?
I think this is a little like they both just like look really confused and like you get the gist that these are good soldiers.
That's fair. I mean, Barry's out of her depths too. She doesn't know what this is.
It's about what we expected, but we had to ask.
Okay, thanks for your time. She goes back and like spoon feeds her mom like bone broth or some shit. It's so sad.
Don't feed her anything with bat in it.
That'd be fair. She like, as you're feeding her, like her body accepts the food, but like there's no response to any that would be any like non-automatic anything. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Sweet. Are you setting a watch at this point?
Yeah, I'll be up with the first one.
I think Simon will take last watch this time.
Valid.
No, I will be trying to kind of keep out of sight of any illumination, just in case someone tries to pull something. They won't see me.
Fair. Yeah. Awesome. So, give me a perception check as night falls. Night seems to pass, or at least your watch seems to pass relatively calmly. So you hear, the water kind of like lapping against the bottom of the tower. It's, as much as you're still kind of rocking with the waves, it's not as much as when you are normally under sail. You are closer to land. You're right near it's not a large landmass, but a landmass.
Getting used to a second voice in my head. There's a problem here.
Yeah. Well, the voice in your head is whispering. I'm not going to use the phrase "sweet nothings" because it's certainly not that. But
I think that's subjective.
fair. You or I, in our current modern mentalities, would not think what the voice is whispering to you is sweet nothings. If that tracks. Yeah. A lot of most of the time what you're hearing is more as if there was like a gentle breeze. Do you know what I mean by an ominous wind?
Yeah.
Like an ominous breeze kind of blowing past you.
I'll be trying to pass some of the time during my watch looking at my book, seeing if I can keep anything translated.
Sure. You don't get anything new from that. It's give me what kind of check do I want to make this? Give me a perception check, I guess. Perception and or insight, your call.
You know what? With me simultaneously trying to keep watch and the saying, I'll force a disadvantage on that.
That works. That works. Ooh.
Ouch.
Yeah, you don't get anything new off of this book.
Oh well.
Did we decide who has the shadow book that you got in the Tizbaga fort?
That one? I think that was the one Ichi stole. Sorry.
I had it while we were researching how to get in the portal, but if you remember taking it from me, your memory is probably better than mine.
I lent you my book for that as well, but I don't know if you kept the other one. I took mine back. That's what I was referring to earlier.
Well, if you've got your book, then I'll hang on to the other one, if there's several.
Yeah, you see. Okay, yeah. The rest of your watch passes relatively uneventfully.
Who wanted the next watch?
Let's call up a Dama there.
That's me.
The man, live
he
and
speaks.
voiced.
They've left. They were banging holes in my wall.
Oh no.
The wyverns?
8 o'clock at night? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm down to wake him up.
Make the most of their daylight, even when they're working inside. Anyway, yeah. Give me a perception check, Adema.
Since you asked so nicely. 13.
Okay, so you guys have parked your ship on like the north side of this this pillar of stone, and as you're kind of keeping a watch around, you do see off like far in the distance shapes, like large winged shapes, kind of similar to the wyverns, but what would your passive insight be, Ademo?
16.
Okay. You get the feeling that these shapes you're seeing are just very, very far away and very, very large, wheeling through the sky. Being like very far away from you, but occasionally you see like flashes of light and these shapes in the air. To further to the north than to the west, but to the northwest of you.
So they're coming from the continent, or from
Yes.
the direction of that. Okay.
And the movement of these things is fast, but the direction seems to be all over the place. Like it's not like it's moving toward you, so to speak.
Given the fact that we're literally parked next to a military outpost, I'm not going to worry too much, but I will pass that along to the next watch.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Does someone else from the party want the next watch, or is a sailor taking it? I know Simon wants the last one, which will be the one after next.
I can take it.
Sure. Give me a perception check, please.
Oh,
Oof.
that makes sense.
Sleepy.
You've got a lot going on your mind.
Yep.
While internally you are feeling a lot of turmoil, externally you can kind of keep your eye to the northwest after Adema tells you what he saw, but you don't see anything that particularly jumps out at you as troubling. And yeah, the time passes, and it's the approximate time for the next watch. Your internal struggle probably filled the time a lot more than what I can say would fill it.
Oh, for sure. Like I didn't. I think Adema told me about whatever the fuck he saw, and she didn't even like register it.
Oof.
She's like, "Huh, cool."
I don't
Yeah,
know if that means
that
you
makes
pass
sense.
that info on to me as I come up.
Probably not.
So
But you're more perceptive than her, so you probably saw it yourself.
I was gonna say, as I come up for my turn, what's the status of that flock?
It's so I said shapes. There were probably 2 shapes total. It's not really like a flock of creatures. You don't see anything in that direction. Give me a perception check overall, though.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh.
Fuck.
Ooh.
I jinxed it.
So, oh no.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Oh. Let me check a different book.
Oh no.
Is it this one? I think it's this one. Does this have... I can probably also go to the internet for this if I wanted. You hear more than see. Well, you hear like some splashing around, like just off the rail of your ship, as if there's something swimming through the water. But by the time you get there to check it, there is nothing there anymore.
Okay.
You try and keep your eye in that direction for a little while, but nothing more is seen.
Cool.
The best part is just because you rolled poorly to not notice anything doesn't mean the thing that you would have noticed would have been bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because encounter does not mean negative encounter.
Mm-hmm.
Does not mean combat or
Yeah, it
possible
doesn't mean
death.
combat. Yeah.
It's the prince. He's here. Mission complete.
Anyway, morning comes. You hear probably what's a new sound to the party here is the sound.
I'm going to mark
Sorry.
in death saves how many days it's been for the mask, just to keep it visible somewhere.
Oh yeah, good call. Good call. Yeah, you hear the sound of leathery wings flapping, like like mad, and you hear the wyverns taking off above you. Some heading out, some mounted, heading out to do their patrols. Some going to hunt. And yeah, the tower that you are parked by comes alive. All right, I don't think this is the book I wanted, but I dealt with the thing anyway. I found half relevant information that I put to purpose. Okay. Yeah. As the sun comes up, the tide rises. You now see the city of Hoshikiri on the western horizon.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank whoever's in charge of this encampment here for letting us park our vessel here as we prepare to keep going.
You are probably going to hear some dice roll. It's literally nothing specifically relevant. Just need to stat an NPC.
And I'll just walk over to Aerodrome and start getting things on the move. Also, we see those.
Oh, you do see those, even though I've said whatever.
Also,
You don't know what these are for.
since we're now at morning, Edema should have his holy water.
Yes. Adema now has ceremony prepared, so he can cast ceremony.
Has ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Sure, that works. All right. All right. So, Adema.
That's me.
It is indeed. You cast ceremony. You bless holy water. How long does that take, and what does that look like for it?
It takes an hour to do.
It takes an hour.
Correct.
Sure. And what does that look like for you?
Specifically, I just need to be near the water, and I'm going to be emptying it out. Well, using my water skin as the only container I have available, and sending whispered blessings, fervent prayers up to Thassa to bless the water that she resides in.
Thoughts and prayers.
Very much so.
Wait, literally.
Okay, yeah. So you guys watch this, I presume. And then the water that you have blessed, do you have a separate container, sorry, or is it just still in your water
Just
skin?
the water skin.
Okay,
No vials.
cool. Do you want to ask someone to borrow one, or are you just like, nah, this is good?
This'll do.
Okay,
I
cool.
have no
Yeah.
intention of slapping
Actually-
Barry's mother in the face with it.
I did have an idea that I wanted to ask you about, Montu.
What's up?
Due to my certain racial ability, would I be able to actually collect that?
I was gonna say I do have a couple of water skins in my inventory if you need one.
Explain further.
Like into vials to use for later?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not sure what you are. Oh,
He's asking to like
you're
keep
spit.
separate
You're
instances
spit.
of holy water to use
spit.
for later.
No, he's asking.
No,
about
he's got poison.
Oh.
He's got an acid spit ability because he's a.
Oh.
Your acid loses its potency pretty quickly.
All right, fair enough.
Like when it's expelled. Yeah. If you had like particular apparatus to store it safely, or like some way to keep it entirely sealed off, that's different. But like just I have a cup and I'll put acid in it, that's not gonna work.
Well, yeah, not that.
That can't
Obviously.
backfire.
Yeah, like it oxidizes and loses its potency. Part of the burning is an oxidization effect, is how we'll phrase that.
Science.
Yeah.
It's the question I'd wanted to ask for a couple sessions. Just didn't think it was ever
Fair.
necessary.
Fair. No, it's a solid question to ask too. So, this is plus that, and I probably need to increase this number.
It's a good question. All you had to do was acid.
damn it. God damn it.
Gotta get my one in per stream.
Why am I
Is it only one per
simultaneously
stream?
proud and disappointed in you?
It's all I can ever ask for.
And then what equipment does this guy want to have? All right, I'll finish stabbing this guy at a later date. We're in the middle of a session. Hi.
I know you said statting, but for half a second it sounded like I'll finish stabbing this guy later.
Hey,
We're not in combat, don't worry about it.
he's not me, okay?
At this point in time.
So far.
Yeah, cool. You guys just keep sailing on your way. Yeah, it's another couple hours to get to town. What are we doing with the holy water now that we have it?
I would like to ask Kai to come with me and go see Barry's mother. We're gonna have to do some things.
Tag teaming my mom.
Really wish we didn't.
Caught on stream, that's a clip. Okay.
Okay, first and foremost, I don't know the nature of what's affecting her, so I'm just going to take a little bit and sprinkle it on her to see what happens. The name of Thassa, please don't take 2d6 radiant damage.
That's a very good question. What
Technically, that's if I hit her with the whole vial. I just sprinkled a little bit, just off the finger.
Just
a
bam!
steam.
You
Fuck.
so I imagine you first examine the subject first.
That would be the hope, yeah.
Or the subject.
That's
She's
not a
dead
yes!
yet.
I didn't say the corpse. I'm trying to speak scientifically because they're doing science. Doing magic science.
Magic science.
Exactly. Yeah, the so you notice that the sort of like shadows running through the veins on her neck have kind of expanded a bit more. You sprinkle a couple drops of holy water over here. You kind of like a priest at the end of mass with the dippy sticky flicky.
A perfect.
That's a different church than the one I went to.
It's a Catholic thing. I've been to like 2. Like as the priest is leaving, he's got like a bucket of holy water. He like dips the stick and flicks it over the crowd
Wow.
to bless you. Anyway, you don't see a particular change in that happening in like herself, but both of you have pretty high passive perception, right? Both you and Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bastards be that way.
Wisdom casters do be that way, especially with like pirate background. To get like proficiency. Anyway.
Ignore my passive perception of 11.
It's okay. There's 3 wisdom casters here. You're good.
You see, just for like a split second, it almost looks like some darkness leaves the body. You don't see the corruption or whatever it is at the like coming from the wounds at her neck. That doesn't seem to change, but it seems to move, kind of like evaporate off her body elsewhere, if that makes sense.
Right. That'd be a corruption. Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
Reverse
something
a
like
bit
that.
of the meter.
Yeah. To put it in more modern pop culture stuff, you know when Link gets a heart container in Tears of the Kingdom, and some of that corruption kind of like it's noticeable when you see it. Like it's very, 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 very faint in this situation, but that happens.
Cool.
Good to go.
Yeah. Again, the corruption at her neck doesn't change, but it seems like if there's anything happening elsewhere on the body that's at the very least been slowed as well, or slowed further.
All right, Kai, would you mind helping me out here? And I'm going to brain trust this and see if we can determine the nature of the corruption in the neck.
For sure.
The help action.
What?
Anyway.
So yes, Kai will aid in whatever way he can.
Yep. So are you doing something with the holy water as you do this? Sorry.
At this point, I would like to take a rag and see if I can sort of brush at the bite mark right where the incisions are, or the points are, and see if I can't determine if it's like what sort of affliction it may be.
Sure. Give me a medicine check with advantage.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, you at this point, especially going like right directly on the puncture wounds, you see it. They the best way to describe it is like when you put salt on a slug or a snail.
Oh, no.
boy.
Oh.
No, specifically to the corruption.
Yeah.
It doesn't eradicate it completely, but it's back to day one.
Oh.
And from that as well, you can kind of gather that with this having been blessed water causing that reaction, whatever is afflicting her is probably some degree of like necrotic or unholy in nature, in origin. You know what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah. Has the ship gotten underway?
Yeah, I was doing that before that whole thing started.
Sure, got it. Just double checking. Yeah. So she,
Oh, go ahead.
Simon.
she is still unconscious. Whatever is causing that is still there, and like again, day one, you can still, as you're looking particularly closely, you can still kind of see that corruption like right at the puncture wounds, and the puncture wounds don't seem to have been healing on their own. They're not bleeding or anything, but like they're not specifically healing. Yeah.
Then with that, Guy, do you think you might be able to fashion me some bandages? I don't appear to have any on me.
I can do so with my healer's kit for sure.
Yeah.
Right. We'll soak them in the holy water and at least bandage up the puncture wounds for now,
Ooh, good.
until we can find further aid.
Yeah. Yeah. So you do that, and like that's something you can just kind of do.
Neat.
And there's no further reaction. If you would like, you can give me another either medicine or religion check, your call.
Religion!
Oh, gee, I wonder what that check was going to
Damn it,
be.
Asa.
Damn
It's
fickle god.
probably pretty safe to assume that, like, especially if you're changing these bandages regularly, that if the affliction progresses, it will be very, very, very slow.
Fair enough.
Good to go.
That does consume the rest of your holy water.
Nah, that's fair. Gonna need this prepared for a while now. High five, Kai, turtle power, and I guess we will. Give Barry an update.
And a cowabunga to you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
With that, as you approach Hoshikiri proper, you are again sort of steered towards the north bank of the bay that the city is on. And yeah, it takes another couple hours to get there, but you arrive in Hoshikiri. You see the buildings are all. This whole kingdom, I'm going to, show you behind the screen a little bit here, as it were. It's all like Eastern style buildings for the most part.
So Kugane.
A little bit, yeah. On the north bank, you do see some like a more diverse building styles as well. The south bank seems very like large structures, very much spaced between them, and all of the ships docked there are similar to that, like all very much the Eastern style of like the Okaran style of ship, size, fancy, like that's where big ships, big buildings are. Yeah, and you also see that just there are more like military ships on the south bank as well. But yeah, you managed to get a berth at the on the north bay, the north shore of the bay, and you have arrived in Hoshikiri. That is where we will end the session for this evening.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
New city.
Oh man.
Yeah. I feel like every session right now is a bit of an emotional roller coaster for Barry.
She's been in a coma for like 4
been, like,
weeks.
Fair.
Well, at least you made some pretty significant progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have a treatment plan now.
That's true.
Yeah.
So it
Or
won't get,
Hail
it won't
Marys a
get
day.
worse.
So this
Oh, boy.
motherfucker. Yeah. These guys are stronger now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We have rangers to help us now, guys.
Yeah. Now you were training them with sword, correct?
Sword.
Yeah, specifically the blades.
Yeah. And they will get that. Cool. Cool.
Might go down the list and try to teach him how to use certain other basic abilities of ranger. But other than
Yeah, you're more focusing on like weapon proficiency here, yeah?
yes, for this one.
Cool.
I might
cool.
like try to teach them the favored foe thing, but other than that,
Yeah. Like these are the enemies you will probably think these are the things that you can use to get an advantage on them, that kind of shit, right?
that's favorite enemy. Favorite foe is the
Favorite foe,
marquee
yeah.
to target.
Wait,
It's-
favorite
yeah,
enemy and
that's-
favorite
that's-
foe, or
I'm trying to flavor that.
favorite enemy and favorite foe are two different things?
Favorite enemy is about like tracking a particular creature type.
Ah.
The Rangers specifically by default come with that, and just makes them better at fighting one thing. But I went with the favored foe instead, which is basically diet hunt.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like a favored enemy doesn't really have much combat. It's more hunting that thing rather than fighting that thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that thing can be as broad as like orcs. It's
It like goes to aberrations, feet.
yeah.
Anything with that
creature
type.
types or specific types of humanoids.
Yeah.
Spooky Wookiees.
Yeah, you can have humans as your favorite enemy.
Fucking humans.
Anyway, yeah. Thank you everyone for watching. I know not a lot really happened that might be exciting, but yeah, a lot of
In these long form.
investigation happened this session. Let's go down the list in our voice chat here.
Not every session can be us fighting off a swarm of
Yeah.
angry ghosts.
I was gonna say in these long form
That's true.
campaigns, there's gonna be some low key sessions.
Yep.
Not a bad thing.
Barry, what was your favorite part of the night?
The mysterious, weird white bird things. I actually have no idea what the fuck.
The shapes in the night in the north.
Yeah, the shapes in the night. Now I want to know what those were, and I'm mad that I didn't see them myself.
I will pull everyone over to the world map. I don't have like labels, and I'm going to redo this map. You are about here.
Yeah.
I'll wait till everyone's actually here. Like, yeah, down in this area. Let's use Ithvik to represent you guys.
Is that the stone tower there? That little island-looking thing?
Yeah. What you were seeing was like up in this area here. This is referred to as the Maw, or the Dragon's Maw, often.
Oh.
Yeah. Without
Guess
rules, I'm
this
not going
what's
to
up
give
there.
any more information.
I know.
But yeah, 3 guesses.
It's a real,
Yeah.
it's a real maw and paw setup.
God damn it.
God. Maw and claw.
That's a good one too.
Oh.
Oh. Anyway, see, you say
don't
one
need
night.
to be
That was
thinking
two.
about
That was
these.
two.
There's minimum of one per night.
Fair. Idemo, what was your favorite part of the evening?
Wyvern riders, son. It was dope.
Fair.
Yeah, just the way I imagined the whole thing when we were coming up to it. Just glorious.
Mm-hmm.
Yup.
Also, not being murdered by them. I love that part.
Wyverns are legitimately like their stat block is fun. All I'm gonna say.
That stinger scares me.
As it should, as well it should. Was that also your favorite part of the moment then?
Yes.
Ithvik? Yeah.
Yes.
Simon?
Yeah, I also like the Wyvern Riders. Like I said, the Fire Emblem fan in me is squealing because I made my guy in Fire Emblem Awakening a Wyvern Lord.
Yeah. Oh, in Awakening even. Okay.
Yeah.
You just kind of like kind of pigeonholed down the tactician line. Anyways, yeah. And Kai. You're kind
Well,
of
for Kai as a specific character, he is quite intrigued by this holy water stuff. Seems to have some fantastic effects for healing, which he likes. And for me, like as a player, the Wyvern Riders, obviously.
Awesome. Honestly, like it's probably kind of boring for people to watch to hear like everyone just liked the one thing, but like
Yeah,
as
I'll
It's a pretty
revise
cool
my,
thing.
I'll revise my
Look,
statement.
we
Play the
liked
Wyvern.
okay.
My previous party that came through here did interact with the Wyvern Riders a bit, and like one of them tamed a Wyvern themselves.
If Simon wasn't
Also,
already
I had
able to fly,
I
I
had,
probably
like-
would have tried.
As it stands, like I'm at that time, I especially like, what is power scaling, guys? They were, I think, level 5, and I mean, you guys are level 6, so. But that was a huge power increase for them to have a wyvern with them.
Yeah.
Oh, gee. You think?
And I didn't tell them this. I like, do you tell your wyvern to attack, anything like that? And would you keep that all behind the screen? Because if anyone knew the stats of a wyvern, they'd be like, oh, that thing is like in the front line, hitting everything with its tail and biting things. And like,
I was gonna say, like,
Yeah.
this is a military outpost, so obviously they're gonna put something powerful on the front line.
Yep.
um,
Reminded me of that one
wyverns
story I
have a-
read about someone dangling an owlbear from the bottom of an airship and just using that to kill stuff.
oh, in our pirate game, eventually our pirate ship could fly. And we
Ooh,
attacked
airship.
a castle that was full of like vampires and my evil dad, that kind of stuff. You know, anyway. And they were shooting cannons up at us, and my one buddy tied a vial of alchemist fire to a keg of gunpowder and dropped it on their
Jesus.
powder
Holy
store.
shit!
So a section of castle just disappeared.
Jesus.
Yep.
I was going to do that to a village, but someone thought that was a bad idea.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
That'd have been a way to go. I mean, right?
Yeah.
Before we go, I also just want to shout out my very best friend in the whole world, Mr. Lane, whose birthday it is today.
Ooh, happy birthday, Lane.
Happy birthday.
And one of the things he did today to celebrate his birthday was watch the D&D movie, Honor Among Thieves.
It's so good. If anyone watching, if you haven't watched it, go watch it.
It's so good.
You will enjoy. So anyone in this group who has not seen the D&D movie, go watch it. You will enjoy.
He was particularly enjoying the owl bear, which is hilarious because that creature is an amalgamation of my favorite animal, the owl, and his favorite animal, a bear.
Now, do they lay eggs or do they give birth to live young? Like, there's a lot of things that come in when you get like that sort of splicing creatures kind of stuff. Like, how do they reproduce?
You're reading too far into it.
Oh yeah.
There's a big hand-wavy answer that we're not going to get into.
Also, rules as written, a druid cannot turn into an owlbear because they're a monstrosity, but that's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when that was first in like trailers, a lot of the like D&D fans on Twitter and shit were like, "That can't happen, read." and have like so many DMs just chimed in and said, "I'd fucking allow it."
Yeah.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? That's cool. It's just
The most
turning
important
into a
rule.
dragon or anything.
The most important rule. There are two most important rules. Have fun. People need to be having fun.
Yeah.
Or the rule of cool.
Yeah.
Just fucking go with it. If people are enjoying it and it's not breaking things, like really breaking things, just go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Anyone watching, like, follow, subscribe, dingle-a-bingle, any of that, whatever YouTube's buttons are right now, press them.
They could
You
change.
got most of them.
Don't press the downvote button or the report button. Don't do those.
Not those ones.
Yeah, like it, follow or subscribe. Follow on Twitch if you are watching us on Twitch right now. Thank you for joining. Yeah. Hope everyone enjoyed. Itchy, take us away.
All right. Well, thank you all once again to everyone here in the session for making another fun and memorable evening. To my fellow players and our wonderful GM as always.
I know you're gonna say it, but I always blush every time.
I gotta treat my co-husband well.
Oh man.
That's the same as some people aren't gonna understand.
People without context are wondering what the fuck.
Yep.
All right, well, we're gonna raid over to my fellow member of Stream On Nation, the B Key. He's playing some Fortnite right now, so hopefully someone will get some enjoyment out of that.
Someone will, I'm sure. I'm sure he's enjoying himself, probably.
Yeah, I'm doing that in honor of my also in honor of my best friend Lane because he plays Fortnite very often as well.
There you go.
All right, thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye, everyone.